All religions have their myths, and Wicca isn't any different to any other religion. If you hear about what other religions are supposed to believe and practice, and then you go and speak to an actual practitioner of that religion, you find out that it's probably not true anyway. Wicca has a lot of myths associated with it, and in this video I wanted to talk about 3 of the main myths and maybe even add some more along the way. But before I do, hi, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn about Wicca and witchcraft, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. Myth number 1. And this is a myth you've probably all heard of, and maybe it's one you may even still believe because it's still pretty common out there. It's not as common as it used to be, thankfully. People are becoming more educated, but it's still there in some tight groups of certain religions, and that is that Wiccans worship the devil or Satan, and that's simply not true. We don't believe in Satan. Okay, we don't believe the devil in the Christian Islamic paradigm exists. So therefore we don't believe in the devil, which means we don't worship their devil. It's fine if other religions believe in it, that's fine. Every religion has the right to believe what they want to believe and to practice what they want to practice. We simply do not believe that, and we don't practice it, and we have nothing to do with the devil. Even though I've said that, there are still some people out there who will say that, well, even if you say that you don't believe in the devil, the very fact that you worship other deities who aren't that specific Abrahamic deity means that you're worshipping the devil anyway by default, which of course isn't true either. And none of the deities that Wiccans work with have that name of Satan or the devil. So it's a load of crap, and it stems from the Middle Ages, where they were trying to make out that there were witches who worshipped the devil, and for all sorts of political reasons. And of course we know what happened back in the Middle Ages with the witch hunts and the murdering of millions of people, thousands of people, or millions it probably was. I don't know the figure. There's a lot of argument about the actual figures, but there was a lot of people that got killed. And it wasn't just women, there were men and children as well. So that's myth number 1. We do not believe in the devil, therefore we do not worship the devil. Myth number 2, that Wicca is an ancient religion. It's not. It's a modern religion. All religions started somewhere, and all religions at one point in time were modern religions. Wicca just happens to be one of the most recent ones. And as humans progress in consciousness, hopefully, and as we become more aware of the universe and how it works, our religion and our theologies, cosmologies all change. And Wicca is one of the religions that have come out of an era of change and realizing that things may actually be a different way to the way that we had believed that they were, say 100 years ago. So it is a modern religion. It came about in the late 50s and progressed through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s to now. It's still progressing, it's still changing, and it is a modern religion. Witchcraft, however, isn't, which is myth number 3, that Wicca and witchcraft are the same thing. They're not. Wicca is a religion, as I've just talked about. Witchcraft is a practice that many religions have within their practices, even if they don't know it or admit it. Witchcraft is working with the supernatural, working with spirits, working with deities in order to create change in some way. So it is a practice that is practiced worldwide, and it's been practiced for probably millions of years in human existence. It's very, very old and ancient, and it's been around, and it will continue to stay around for a very long time. So it's something that most Wiccans incorporate into their religious practices. Some Wiccans don't practice witchcraft, which means they don't practice magic, because essentially that's what witchcraft is. It's the practice of magic. And as I've said, many religions actually have that somewhere within them. even maybe they've had it in their history and they don't do it anymore, or it's still part of their practices in some way, shape or form. It might be very watered down, it might be called something else, but it is still the witchcraft practices. So they're the three biggest myths around Wicca. There's a couple more. Another one that I heard recently was that witches spoke a special language, and that to do spells you had to speak this special language. I don't know what language that is. I'd love to find out what it is. I've always used English. Occasionally for some work with certain deities or for angelic work, there may be some other mantras or something in there that may be in another language, but all the spell work that I do from a sympathetic point of view and the Wiccan work is all done in English because that's the only language I speak. And witchcraft's practiced by people from all cultures speaking all sorts of languages, so there's not one particular language or for witchcraft. So that was interesting. Another myth is that all witches have disdain for and hate Christians and Christianity. That's also not true, although there may be a little bit of annoyance with certain fundamentalist Christians who are very, very good at harassing us and telling us that we're worshipping the devil, even when we tell them we're not, and telling us we're all going to hell, which is very annoying. And not to mention what's gone on in the past with persecution. Most witches just go, look, Christians, believe what you like, do what you like, just leave us alone, okay? That's all we're asking. Just leave us alone and, you know, stop harassing us. There's a lot of Christians out there who are very open to witchcraft and Wicca, and they're very, very keen to be friends and not treat us with disdain. And I think more and more open-minded Christians who are a bit more liberal are in that category. There's still just a handful who still want to persecute us. But we don't hate Christians at all. We just want to practice our religion the same as they do, and hey, let's just get on with it, you know. We're all after the same thing in the end, and that is to have peace and joy and happiness and a good life and to do good things in the world, you know. So that's another myth that I've heard. So that makes 5 myths now. I've really deviated from the 3 there. So I'll leave it with that. If you can think of any more myths that you've heard, or if you're not sure if something is a myth, pop it in the comments field below so that I can do maybe another video on it and answer that. Let's see how many myths we can get going in the comments field that you've heard about, that somebody said to you about Wicca and witchcraft that simply aren't true. And or any that you think may be true or you're not sure of, particularly if you're new to witchcraft, because I'd love to hear what those comments are. And if you want to support the channel and you want to donate, I do have a PayPal Me link in the comments field below this video, so that you can, or was it the description field? I think it's description field on YouTube. Mercury stations direct today, so yes. It's still difficult to think. Yeah, if you want to donate, PayPal me in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Blessed be.